Shalom, shalom. I would first like to begin the lesson off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachaha, Kodash. Double blessing and honor to the apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone who taught me this truth through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace and salutations to the brothers out there pushing this truth, the 100% truth out there on the highways and the byways, the Akim, as well as you few sisters out there listening and learning the Aqua. To you also I say shalom. It is your brother, Atizaga Bar, back with another lesson through the spirit, man. It's like, and in today's lesson, man, I just want to play a video of that the elder Apostle Tahari did concerning Scott Ritter. I'm not going to react to his whole video. It's 12 minutes long. Really just want to pull that clip that he used with Scott Ritter and what he was saying. Been meaning to do this lesson. It was about from 3 days ago. And this lesson shouldn't be too long as far as me reacting to this part. So I'm going to go ahead and bring out some other clips I have, pretty much concerning what Salaki. Barakata. Pretty much concerning what myself and the other brother, Hadab Yarabah, were talking about last night in our lesson. So, like we've been saying, man, nothing new that we've been pulling out. Pretty much the same things we've been saying. And we're seeing the prophecies come to pass. Also, if my voice sound a little funny, it's just because I just woke up. So, just bear with me. Nonetheless, though, I want to go ahead and declare fair use just for the other clips I'm going to be using tonight. All right, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Tips to balance in favor of fair use. So with that being said, fair use is in full effect. YouTube, please do not strike this video down, as I'm not making any monetary gain off of this. This is for educational and edification purposes only. All right, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and play a clip for y'all. And I got a few others on my phone, so I'm going to have to pull them up on my laptop.
Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Al-Shai, Bashem, Makakata, Shalom to the 144,000 rest of you elect out there, Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video, Is This the End of Nero 47? So this is a video that's currently live, put up by GMS Mawatazak Bun Gad 2. A sound of battle is the land, or in the land, should be. And a great destruction, right? A great destruction is coming down, the downfall, the complete downfall of Babylon the Great. So let's go ahead and listen to this.
This is Scott Ritter again. And this one is about 6 minutes. I'm going to just let him talk, right? Because
I would just say this, man. Scott Ritter has been bringing out a whole bunch of information. God damn. Hold on, Salaki. That nigga J.D. Vance must be like 6'5", 6'6", because Donald Trump's 6'3". Nonetheless, though, they gonna end up Scott Ritter. They might end up deleting that dude because he be exposing what's going on in America so much, man. They might have to put him to sleep.
He's gonna say a whole lot in this 6 minutes, and then I'm gonna show one more clip, and I'm gonna we're gonna go to Jeremiah 50 and a couple more scriptures, and that'll be it.
And I just want to say this before I'm looking at Al Jazeera right now. It's talking about an airstrike that hit Iran Iran's oil facilities in Tehran. Like my dad said, he was telling me that the people that they're targeting, or that they quote unquote want to target, right? The people that were under the supreme leader, which is the religious leader of Iran that they killed, don't even stay in Tehran. They more so stay in rural parts. Why they're not bombing the rural parts of Tehran, I don't know. Nonetheless, though, my main point of saying that is through news media, right? You have Americans like what's that lady? Not Pam Bondi. It's another blonde haired lady that's with this that's with this cabinet. Something leave it. What's her name? Carolyn Leave It. I didn't realize she was this young. She young enough to have went to. Nah, never mind. Nonetheless, though, I seen a clip of her yesterday talking about how America is decimating their enemies and stuff like that. Some along those lines. You also have Donald Trump continuing to talk mega shit. We can go ahead and get that. Man, that's not the case, man. Of course, if you look at the news coverage on this, what they're saying about Israel and what they're saying about America and stuff like that, right? It would appear that America is doing very well in this war, but I have some clips that's going to say otherwise and expose that true fact on how the war actually is going over there in that region, because it's getting it's a little hard to get news coverage on the topic with these news agencies, right? Like the guy said, I was watching a clip just before this lesson. It's hard to get even see this stuff on Al Jazeera, which are international networks, right? Like outside of CNN and Fox News. But in addition to that, though, you have locals who are pretty much letting people know what's going on over there. It's not looking good. You have United States soldiers who are saying the same thing that's over there, which is why he's asking for the what that nigga say. Donald Trump is asking for the unconditional surrender. There we go. Which is why he's asking for the unconditional surrender of Iran. Because if we just look at the history of how America or just Edomites in general take war, they're not known to let up on their enemies or be merciful in any way. So if this war was going the way that they wanted it to go, and this is just me speaking from a logical standpoint, they wouldn't have to say anything like, uh, we want the unconditional surrender of Iran if it was going their way. As you can see with Israel, they didn't say let there be unconditional surrender with the Palestinians. They continue to level Gaza. So, and it was going their way. This is what I'm, kind of getting at, but it's not going the way that America is saying it's going, man. It's just to tell you the truth. So really all Donald Trump can do is just keep on throwing threats and bragging, which is what he's good at, talking about himself, talking about America, and being proud. Because we know that pride it just comes before a great fall, which is what's happening to America and what is going to happen to Donald Trump via the Lord of the House of Israel, Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah. It's not it's not nothing that we're gonna do to him, right? We're just bringing forth the prophecies and speaking through the Bible. Only time will tell, right? A wicked city can only get away with its wickedness for so long until someone has to step in and say, all right, that's enough. Now you're getting prepared for what you've been doing for all of these years, which is what we're seeing unfold on earth. This is Psalm 10 and 5. It says, his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. says he hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity, right? That was the thought process, and probably still is the thought process of Donald Trump and Americans, as well as these small hats, right? They never they never thought that any type of adversity could come to them, and we're still waiting on that part of the prophecy, right, of America, portion of their land being wasted. It's going to happen in due time, best believe, because the Lord said it was going to happen. Part of him saying these things is just to keep the American people at ease, and it's lucky this shit is throwing me off. To keep the American people at ease and to keep them calm, right? And I mentioned this in the lesson last night. The day of the Lord, 1 Thessalonians 5:1. But of the times and of the seasons, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night, right? When you least expect it. And it is mentioned as well in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, around the late 30s, 40 verse, right? If the homeowner would have known that the thief was coming, he might have prepared a little bit better. We know that the thief is coming, right? The elected house of Israel know, Lord willing, we be that number, of course. Know that the thief is coming, which is why we've been preparing ourselves and are continuing to prepare ourselves for that day and that time. The rest of the world, more specifically the 2/3, don't realize that, which is why they don't understand why the things that are going on in the earth right now are happening and taking place. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape, right? The Lord is going to keep them in these plagues because what does it say in the scriptures? These things are sent as scourges for amendment, meaning punishment, correction, right? They need their ass whooped. It says, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that the day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Meaning we not ignorant of these things. This is Psalm 58:1, and I'm going to go ahead and play the clip after this. Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yeah, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. That's what they doing. It says the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. I'll put this in the notes here and then go ahead and get this. Verse 1, it says, justice, do you rulers know the meaning of the word? Do you judge the people fairly? No, you plot injustice in your hearts. You spread violence throughout the land. That's what they're doing right now. And it's becoming more and more evident to the people, just how the nature of these people are. Esau Edom, the so-called white man, as well as the small hats, Israelis. These wicked people are born sinners. Even from birth, they have lied and gone their own way. They spit venom like deadly snakes. They are like cobras that refuse to listen, ignoring the tunes of the snake charmers, no matter how skillfully they play.
Like I said, man, we here, man. All right, things are happening fast.
Things are
This war has been going on for a week as of today.
happening fast. Since Saturday. What's the saying that Lenin made? There are decades that go by and nothing happens. Then there are weeks that go by and decades happen. Look it up.
And that's funny. Because I had just posted that quote on my story last night or yesterday.
That was designed to kill their senior leadership for the purpose of achieving a collapse of the government, a collapse of a system that has been in place for 47 years. So, right off the bat, the question is, what do they have to lose? I mean, they're coming at you to kill you. Do you respond with escalation ladder? Or do you say we are engaged in an existential struggle for survival? Um, the job of the Iranians is to finish this conflict with the Islamic Republic intact. But much as we've seen in the case with Russia and Ukraine, Vladimir Putin has articulated not just the need to bring an end to the war, but to bring an end to the war in a way that addresses the root causes of the conflict so that we don't see a resumption of the conflict break out 5-10 years from now. The United States and Israel just said we're in the business of destroying the Iranian regime. The purpose of this campaign is to eliminate Iran. So for the Iranians to emerge from this war alive, but with Israel and the United States still maintaining a regime change posture, doesn't solve anything. So what are the Iranians to? A, they're in a battle of existential survival. B, they have to win this war. And the victory in this war is regime change. Now, the United States has always talked about regime change, meaning that it's not just about removing the regime, but changing the behavior of the regime.
Getting the puppet up in there. They're gonna put a puppet up in there, like the Shah of Iran. He was a puppet.
One way to change the behavior of the current administration is to guarantee its political demise. Donald Trump, I believe, has committed political suicide here. It's the end of the Trump.
Political suicide.
As you heard it, he's committing political suicide. Let's go ahead and play it back.
Guarantee its political demise. Donald Trump, I believe, has committed political suicide here. It's the end of the Trump.
Political suicide. And he knows it. He doesn't sound too proud now. He doesn't sound too, I don't know, his chest ain't out like it used to be. He made a blunder.
Right.
He effed up.
He, like I said last night, man, he just lit a candle, and the more and more that wax burns is the end of the American kingdom, American empire. But we told y'all these things are gonna come to pass, right? Just wait how people are gonna start reacting when these things start hitting U.S. soil. Then that's when we really talking. That's when we really cooking with hot oil, right? Because of course, they said it's a potential. There's a potential that these things could escalate and hit U.S. soil, right? People still aren't listening. They're not taking that. They're not taking that to head, right? It's just like I could use myself for an example. Nah, I ain't gonna throw that out there. It's a little too personal for me. But it's just like if you have somebody who continues to tell you something's gonna happen, something's gonna happen, something's gonna happen. Uh, if there's a history of nothing going on, right? Like the other pastor just said, there are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen. Of course, you won't believe it. No, you have that small few who the Lord have opened their ears, opened their mind to listen. So when these things come to pass, like I said, we're not surprised. We've been talking about these things. He isn't as proud as he once was. Our military is the greatest. Our military is the greatest. Our military is the greatest. But he still got to talk shit. All he is a puppet, right? And then another thing, it's coming out, right? Iran is spending far less than America is on this war. sitting over old technology, not even using their latest stuff. So that's telling you something. And America can't even keep up with that. And America is outspending them far more. And you need money in order to beef or go to war, right? But you're asking for the unconditional surrender of this country. Y'all deleted their religious leader, the supreme leader of Iran. So, and he was supreme leader for almost 40 years. No one's gonna take that lightly.
He effed around and effed up.
Presidency. This decision to bomb Iran, if he doesn't win quickly and decisively, it's over. He will be routed in the midterm elections and be impeached, probably convicted, and that's the end of him. So there's regime change.
So we're going to see what's going to happen. So now he's in desperation mode. He's going to do things. The Epstein files. This war took people's mind out of the Epstein files, the PDF files.
And I'm looking at Benjamin Milikowski. He's nowhere to be found during this time. It's only Donald Trump speaking. And they set that boy up good, man.
So if he loses this war, if they said they're going to be out there, their plan is to be out there for another month, 4 weeks. If it goes another 4 months, then that's going to be a bad look. It's going to be a terrible look on Nero.
Right there. Benjamin Netanyahu, likewise, if you don't get regime change and Iran retaliates and does significant damage to Israel, it's the end of Benjamin Netanyahu's government, his viability as a leader. Then the question is what replaces them. And if you, by striking regional leaders who have been acquiescent to the Israeli and American vision of the Abraham Accords and the diminishment of Iranian power, what you may see is Gulf Arab nations realizing that the United States isn't there, and Israel is a nation that can be defeated.
Joel, the third chapter.
And you'll see a change in the attitude.
So, let me get this real quick. Just concerning some of the decisions that these higher up rulers have been making. It's clear to see that the wisdom is no more in Teman or in Edom, for that matter. It says Isaiah 1:1. Isaiah 3. Isaiah 3:1. God will remove the leaders, for behold, the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, doth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stave and the staff, the whole stave of bread and the whole stave of water, the mighty man and the man of war, the judge and the prophet and the prudent and the ancient, the captain of 50 and the honorable men and the counselor and the cunning artificer and the eloquent orator. And I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them, right? Now, of course, it's talking about rulers within our community as in Israelites. Nonetheless, though, we can apply this to the rulers that rule over us in captivity right now, because they are indeed children and babes in their mindset and how they act and think, right? We're quite literally seeing a nation throw a temper tantrum because they're not getting their way and things are falling apart. It says, and the people shall be oppressed, everyone by another, and everyone by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable, right? That's just talking about how the YNs are disrespectful to the old generation. Let me see. That might be it. Verse 10, say ye to the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him. That's what we're seeing right now. And this is going to continue to escalate, because America in the small have a history of wickedness that has to unfold, and they have to pay their debt to. Who they had to pay that debt to? The Holy One of Israel. And what does Hebrews 10:31 say? It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. So they in the Lord's trick bag, man. And he's starting to amp it up on them. Verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, once again, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths. Going on to Ecclesiastes, is that the 10th or the 11th chapter? A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. I might even get the GNT and see how this sounds. It's funny how you saw them listens. They know I've been looking at golf clubs. They just want control, man. Listen to everything you do. Ben Sarah or Bon Sirach, son of Sirach. Anyways, Ecclesiastes 10:1 in the Good News translation. Fuck off my screen. A wise ruler will educate his people, and his government will be orderly. All the officials and all the citizens will be like their ruler. Right? So if you have a corrupt ruler who is a convict, just look at his cabinet and who he has backing him. A whole bunch of people who have scandals attached to their name. An uneducated king, but a government will grow strong if its rulers are wise. And as you can see, America have had a history of uneducated rulers anyways. He probably the dumbest one though. And that's okay. He's leading he's at the forefront and leading to the destruction of this place. And that's just prophecy. He's doing his job on the left hand side. Says the Lord sees to the government of the world and brings the right person to power at that time, right? As it says, the kingdom is translated from one person to another, and I like it even in this, in the regular KJV. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. What does that say? What they say? Stay down till you come up. I've been sticking to that theory. The Israelites have been in a lowly state for years on top of years on top of years on top of years on top of years now. And we're coming to the point in time in history where, like I said, the, the kingdom is being translated from one people to another. Because clearly, as you can see, this is what happens when the basis of men is in rulership. You have destruction and all hell chaos going on around the world. But when the Israelites, when Yahushua takes the throne, forever, forever, ever, forever, ever, forever, it's going to be peace throughout the earth and righteousness for the Israelites. Now, the other nation, I can't speak on y'all. Verse 5, the success of that person is in the Lord's hands. The Lord is the source of the honor given to any official. We could continue to read verse 7. Don't be angry with someone for every little thing he does wrong. Don't do anything out of injured pride. That's what they're doing. Injured pride. Arrogance and injustice are hated by both the Lord and people. Injustice, arrogance, and wealth cause nations to fall from power, and others then rise to take their place. That's what we're seeing right now, man. Once again, translation of a kingdom. Let's go ahead and read this in the KJV, and I'm gonna go back to the video. Pride is hateful before God and man, and by both doeth one commit iniquity. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Let's continue on Israel.
attitude of the regime, because and Israel is a nation that can be defeated, and you'll see a change in the attitude of the regime, because it's of various Gulf Arab nations. It's very important for Iran when this war ends.
You see a change in the attitude of the Arab Gulf nations. All right. And that's biblical prophecy. That's second Ezra, the 15th chapter, which we're going to read that as well.
And some of these Arab Gulf nations are starting to pull away their alliance from America. I'm going to get that as well.
That's prophecy.
Second Ezra is the 15th chapter. Second Ezra is the 16th chapter. Daniel the 12th chapter.
It's okay, Elder Apostle Hart. They don't want to listen. We saying it. They don't want to listen. It's okay. But for those who are here to listen, stay tuned. These prophecies are going to continue to pop like popcorn.
Jeremiah 30 verse 7.
They ain't hearing you, Elder Apostle Hart. They not hearing you, man. We spitting facts. They not hearing you, and that's okay. What does they say? Death by pain.
Matthew 24. Prophecies, prophecies, prophecies.
Okay.
Is that the title of our lesson last night? Prophecy, prophecy, prophecy. Popping, popping, popping like popcorn. Prophecy, prophecy, prophecy. Orville Redenbacher.
They're all gonna band together over in that region, and they're gonna destroy them small hats over there, man. All right. They're gonna destroy them small hats. Trust and believe they rallying right now. All right.
They say war on Iran have taken humanitarian toll. Over 1,300 have been deleted in a week. And you know what's funny about that? That number not even accurate. It's more than that.
This isn't just happened at the end of the 12-day war. You brought an end to the fighting, but the mindset still was in place to achieve regime change, and that's what we see today. When this war ends, Iran must not only survive, but must have created a geopolitical transformation in the region away from sustaining U.S. and Israeli regime change plans against Iran. And so this is going to require the defeat of the United States military. The U.S. military is defeated not by sinking ships and shooting down airplanes, but by not winning. It's the same thing about Hezbollah against Israel in 2006. When Israel came out and said our goal in 2006 in the short August war is to destroy Hezbollah completely. At the end of the war, Hezbollah is still there, raining death and destruction down on Israel. Hezbollah wins. If the United States has said the goal is regime change, when this war ends and Iran is there, Trump will have lost. And this will be devastating for a man who, speaks of peace through strength. You're not very strong when you lose. It'll be devastating.
You're not very strong when you lose. He called himself, went from the Department of Defense to Department of War. That means you're proactive. So if you lose a war, you're going to look bad. Let me bring that back.
The goal is regime change. When this war ends and Iran is there, Trump will have lost. And this will be devastating for a man who, speaks of peace through strength. You're not very strong when you lose. It'll be devastating for a man who renamed the Department of Defense to the Department of War and to go out and lose a war. But this is what Iran needs to do. Iran needs to win this war. They need to physically destroy Israel, and they need to outlast the United States. And again, the conditions of victory are very easy here. You just have.
That's what happened in the Vietnam conflict. In the Vietnam conflict, the Vietnam West, and then the war.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, though. You all can watch the rest of that lesson. Netanyahu threatens Israeli.
Fuel is information designed for control.
See, I told y'all.
The Iranians. אתם מגלים רוח חזקה. אתם אומרים לי, לממשלה, לחיילים ולמפקדים הגיבורים שלנו.
This nigga got Dumbo ears.
תמשיכו עד הסוף.
You understand the scope of this stage, and you need to adhere to the instructions of the home front to save your lives. In the fortified areas, you are demonstrating high morals. I hear you say to me, to the government, and to our soldiers, to continue until the end, until victory. That's why I would like to express my deepest gratitude for such a trust. And I would like to confirm to you that we continue our effort very strongly. Wars are won by planning and deceit. However, the primary pillar of victory is determination. And I'm not talking about the determination of the leaders and the commanders, but also the determination of the peoples that you, people of Israel, have demonstrated so far. We together we recovered from the massacre on October 7th, and one by one, and we have dealt them double the blow. In Gaza, we killed Sinwar and his supporters, and with Hezbollah, and in Syria and in Iran. In Iran now, we are out with the Standing Lion and Lion's Roar operation that we are conducting in Iran, and we have recovered all our captives, and we have climbed the.
This is all I'm gonna say, man. Concerning this, whenever they do something, the information is released within 48 hours. They get exposed. We have gotten all our captives back. It was just reported that Iran captured 2 American soldiers. Is this the most up-to-date thing they got on their page? Because it's a couple clips I want to use. Hell yeah. All right, let me go ahead and scroll down. Let's see what it says. I want to first play this one.
CNN, though they have been better, but I saw a video this morning, real video, not CNN, though they have been better, but real video out of Israel. They are getting absolutely pummeled.
That was to be my next question. How badly is Israel getting pummeled? And where is Netanyahu?
I think he's on a plane 90% of the time. He's flying around the Mediterranean. I understood he was on a private jet coming into Mar-a-Lago to talk to Trump. I don't know if that's true or not, but my source is pretty good. He's staying out of the fray as best he can because he knows that he is number one target.
How badly are the Iranians damaging Tel Aviv?
Very badly, very badly. And it is relentless. It's not a fuselage. It's relentless. And increasingly, and in the latter stages of this 15-minute video, you could see that fewer and fewer air defense missiles were going up. And at the end of it, in the last 60 seconds, which is a long time, Judge, if you're under fire, there were no Israeli missiles going up. The Iranian missiles were just getting in.
Well,
it's all being lied about, of course. You can't get this out. You can't even get it out of Al Jazeera or Al Arabiya. They're not allowed to film this sort of thing because he's got a wrapped down tight ban on anybody coming in there and making film other than his own propaganda people. I saw a video this morning, real video, not see.
Listen, man, he's not the only person that's been saying this. The brother was showing clips yesterday of it. It's not looking good for these people, man. As a matter of fact, see what the Lord have to say against Amalek. Exodus 17:16, for he said, because Yahweh hath sworn that Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Numbers 24 and 20. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. So the Lord's hatred for Esau, Edom, and Amalek is very great. Russia starting to get involved now. Gog and Magog, Ezekiel the 38th chapter. Joel 3 and 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. They parted the land that was not theirs. They stole it and it was not theirs. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, verse 9. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares and the swords and your pruning hooks and the spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. They finna start coming against these folks. Let me get this. Ezekiel, the 36th chapter, and the 5th verse. Oh, we can get verse 1. Also the Son of Man prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, and say, Ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of Yahweh. Thus saith Yahweh the Most High Power, because the enemy hath said against you, Aha! Let me go ahead and say it again for the elder brother Malcolm. Aha! Even the ancient high places are ours in possession. They unrightfully stole land that was not theirs. Right? Micah the 2nd chapter. Therefore prophesy and say, Thus saith Yahweh the Most High Power, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and ye are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are an infamy of the people. Therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of Yahweh the Most High Power. Thus saith Yahweh the Most High Power to the mountains, and to the hills, to the rivers, and to the valleys, to the desolate waters, and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about. Here's my point. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh the Most High Power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, to cast it for a prey. Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys, Thus saith Yahweh the Most High Power, Behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh the Most High Power, I have lifted up my hand. Surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame. Amen. The Lord is just judging the wicked. Hey, like it says, the eyes of the Lord are on the sinful kingdom. That's all there is to it. Let me go ahead and play this.
I don't know if y'all can hear that, but them gunshots is getting real close, bro. This shit not looking too good, I ain't gonna lie. Iran, they might have won this shit. I ain't gonna lie, too many motherfuckers is begging out. This shit not good. I ain't gonna lie, this shit raps. GG's in the chat, yo. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but them gunshots is getting real close, bro. This shit not looking too good, I ain't gonna lie. Iran, they might have won this shit.
There's no telling how accurate you say this is. Nonetheless, though, other sources have confirmed that it's not looking too good for America or Israel when it comes to this war. Go ahead and see if I can find this video. I ain't gonna be able to pull this up on my oh no, actually I should be able to.
Chance at winning this war. Let's talk about the strategy, but first let's listen to what Iranian professor Marandi has to say.
Mr. Red Pills X.com. I didn't even realize they got my account on here. Never mind. Profile. No, not this part. Where the hell is my saved shit at? Oh, here, bookmarks. Here we go.
Iran actually have a chance at winning this war? Let's talk about their strategy, but first let's listen to what Iranian professor Marandi has to say.
Iran will defeat the United States. Time will tell. And our drones that are being fired are very old drones. Our missiles that are being fired are very old missiles. They're very inexpensive. And Americans are using up very expensive air defense systems. The Iranians know exactly what they're doing. We haven't even begun using our latest technology, and most of Iran's underground bases have not even been used yet. They have not even been opened up for operation. Iranians have been planning for this day ever since the invasion of Iraq. They knew that at some point the Epstein regime will go after Iranians, and therefore they've been preparing themselves for many years.
The first thing you need to know is that this is a war of attrition. And what that basically means is that both sides are going to try to wear each other down over time until one surrenders. And you win by exhausting soldiers, money, weapons, political will. And the US and Israel's strategy is quite simple. It's what they've been doing in Gaza, is destroy Iran as quick as possible, destroy their infrastructure, go after their proxies, and basically cripple Iran's ability to fight. Trump's entire strategy is he wants to do this as fast as possible, like he did in Venezuela. But Iran is not Venezuela. Iran's strategy is asymmetric warfare. They are interested in making this a long, expensive, and politically difficult for the US and Israel. They are attacking Israeli cities, US military bases across the region.
You can liken this unto a 12-round championship boxing match. For those of you who are boxing fans, you have some people, and you know what? I'll give a good example, right? You have the fight between Lennox Lewis, which is one of my favorite boxers of all time, and what's that nigga name from New York? His name is leaving me. Salaki. Let me look it up for the second time real quick. Lennox Lewis versus Shannon Briggs. There we go. You could liken that to that fight, right? And I was just thinking about looking at some of his little matches. Just because. In that fight, right? Shannon Briggs is known in heavyweight to have the most first round knockouts in boxing history, or at least at that point in time, right? So he's known to, you know what I'm saying, be a quick fighter. On the other hand, if you ever seen Lennox Lewis fight, he'll take his time, study his opponent in the ring, get to know him. He's more precise with how he fights and stuff like that, and things of that nature, right? So in the first round, Shannon Briggs, quote unquote, making him look bad. You get into the later rounds, Shannon Briggs, he's not used to fighting past these earlier rounds, right? So you get more and more to the fight, it's going Lennox Lewis' way. And he knocked his ass out. Once again, Iran, like she said, trying to make this a longer, stretched out war. Because what's the point of rushing? Y'all wanted this smoke. You gonna get the smoke. You doing all this yapping. Now it's time. Now you want, can we please get unconditional surrender? No, you can't. Like I said though, now the United States is going against a Division I team. They're not playing They're not playing D3 schools no more. They're not playing tune-up games no more. This is real deal competition for their ass.
Energy infrastructure. They are also spending a lot less on their weapons, and they're making them a lot quicker. A $10,000 drone from Iran is taking out $1 million US missile. Another issue is that the US is burning through their weapons stockpile because they have been funding the war with Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. Ukraine is using huge amounts of ammunition. Israel also needs large amounts of interceptors, and all of this is being funded by the US taxpayer. Iran has also closed the Strait of Hormuz, where 20% of the world's oil supply passes through. This will cost the global economy billions of dollars. Analysts say oil could jump to $100 to $150 per.
Now, let me stop right there. I want to read this to y'all real quick. Breaking end of the empire, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, and Qatar are discussing withdrawing from contracts with the U.S. and canceling future investment commitments in the U.S. Right, so then by them striking Iran, them knowing that Iran have heavy oil presence, forcing them to close this strait, thinking that it's going to cripple people who get oil from Iran. Iran saying, you know what, China, you can come through here. Anybody else who come through this mob, it's destroyed. Mind you, these countries are allies with the United States, as well as up here, right? Just to name some. America's thinking, oh well, if we stop them from bringing in oil, these other countries, they're not really thinking about them. Whole time, these countries, it's like, man, y'all tripping. We finna go find business elsewhere. Gulf states could review overseas investments to ease financial strains caused by Iran war. They didn't consider that. So like, they didn't consider that, man. And Jeremiah the 49th, oh, y'all only bring out the same scriptures. It's only relevant for the times we in. Prophecy against Edom. It says Jeremiah 49:7. Concerning Edom, thus saith the Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more a demon? They haven't thought out these things. It's just like a dog that's barking. A little ass chihuahua. All they do is run their mouth. They never consider what's gonna happen when this big dog come up on me. Is this barking gonna scare it away? Nope. The barking not gonna do nothing. Is counsel perish from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. The Lord is beginning to visit these folks. If grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If these by night, they will destroy till they have enough. But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. Continually getting exposed.
Barrel. Trump is threatening to have U.S. troops on the ground, but this would be another win for Iran because more than half of the country is mountainous terrain, and they have entire hidden infrastructures inside of the mountains. They have tunnels, missile bases, military facilities inside of these mountains. They also have the biological cardiovascular advantage because they grew up in these higher altitudes. Iran's strategy is to crush the U.S. economy. The U.S. and Israel strategy is to crush the Iranian people.
So pretty much what this good-looking woman said was, in conclusion, America's cooked. Now let me see if I can pull this up on my email real quick. And this will probably be the last video I play because I know that it's been going on for a good minute now. Yeah, it's gonna be the last video I play. Let me go ahead and get this. Pull it up real quick. It's not looking too good for these people, man. As the scriptures read, have the golden city ceased. This is all for the controversy of Zion, people. I'm gonna keep on saying that. Like that guy said, what is it? What do the what does it matter who the Israelites are at this point in time? Buddy, you just don't know, do you? You just don't know. It matters a lot who the Israelites are in this time. Identify them. And the truth is coming out more and more. You have more and more people saying that we are the children of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. The other nations, because Israel, they don't like to receive this type of information from the horse's mouth. Damn. Hold on. Salaki, I don't know why this thing not popping up. Let me see if I can find it. Up scroll. Just pull it up like this. If I can't pull it up like that, I'm gonna just pull it up like this. Pink. All right, so I didn't even send it. Salaki. Bear with me one moment. This is gonna be the last thing I pull out. All right, now it should be up. Here we go. Bing. All right, go ahead and pull that up. All right. The water for bearing with me. Go ahead and pull this up.
But he claims that the cartel leader El Mencho, who was just killed, had a list of all the different world leaders that
this
were
ain't had nothing to do with the this for a different lesson. Salakia, y'all. It's just showing the corruptness of Esau Edom. I might as well go ahead and get this scripture then for the sake of this video concerning prophecy, because this is a big prophecy that's coming to pass and that's happening right now. Second Ezra, the 15th chapter and the 28th verse. It says, "Behold, a horrible and the appearance thereof from the east, were the nations of the dragons of Arabia, the Arabs." Now, of course, we know that Iran is not an Arab nation; they're an Elamite nation. But there's Arab nations around about. Shall come out with many chariots, and a multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians. Now this is another word for Iran or Persia, of course. Raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. Now, who is the Assyrians? In certain texts in the scriptures, if your spirit can receive it, it's talking about America, Babylon the Great. And in this case, it's talking about America. As you can see, they're in conflict with each other right now. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. And if you, as you all remember or know, Persia had their own empire many moons ago, the Medo-Persian Empire. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them, then these shall be troubled and keep silence through their power and shall flee. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them and consume some of them, and in their hosts shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. Right, and you could continue on, but just know, man, this is prophecy. It's not like these things weren't said to be done. And Salaki, I didn't see the brothers' scriptures. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these out. Jeremiah 50 and 45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes, that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely, Salaki, I can show this. I forgot I could do that. I ain't never been able to, do something like this, man. Surely the least of the flock shall dwell. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them, right? They have that spirit of if if I go down, everybody's going down with me, right? And the least of the flock is the small hats. They're the least of the house of Israel. And he said, Khan, America has been made bare. That's right, brother. So we're seeing it unfold, man. All of this is beautiful for us. We're about to receive salvation very soon, Lord willing. So that being said, man, I'm gonna close it off there. I give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachaha Kodash. Double blessing and honor to the apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone once again, who taught me this truth through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And until next time, I say Shalom, Israel. Shalom. As always, one day close to the kingdom, man. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Shalom.